Yo guys, it's the Dead Weeb slash Weeb the Dead slash Necro slash Nathan. Today's a really weird video to make. Simply, and you'll have to excuse there's no structure for this, there's no script, there's no any of that. Simply for the fact that this is a video talking about my mental health and how I deal with it and how I go day-to-day basis with it and what I use to help cope with all of it. Now, it's hard to talk about because that's why I've got slightly cheery music slash anime music in the background, because it's hard just to talk about in normal context, and I'll try to keep it to some kind of professional standard. And that in that aspect, I want to talk mainly about how I use anime as a way to cope, I guess, and how my mental health affects me from, you know, interacting with people, my relationships with people, even simple messages or me being delayed and stuff, and how it affects it on a day-to-day basis. Plus, it's one of the reasons why I've gone from regularly uploading to very much half and half, because I sit here and I'll procrastinate for hours and hours and hours and hours about, oh, what video should I make? And then I think about making it and then I just get down on myself and I'm like, nah, I can't do that. And you have to excuse me, it will be a lot of ums and a bit of awkward pauses because it's not a normal video, and if this gets 2 views, great. If it gets 10, great. I just wanted to put this out there just in case someone else needed a way to figure out how to cope with these things, because I've been dealing with depression slash mental health problems slash anxiety for, oh god, how long now? 20 years? So, cause I'm 22. Not 20 years, sorry, that's an exaggeration. It's gotta be like 16. I felt, because this won't be structured at all, it will be very much just my thoughts on paper, because I want to get this out there. And it's mainly, I can't process emotion normally. There's some days where I'm completely fine and I'm my normal self and I'm happy doolally, and then other days there's moments where I feel on the verge of crying almost every minute of the day, and I don't know how to get over it, or I used to didn't know how to get over it, and it's only been these past, I'd say 4 to 5 years, I've found some sort of a coping mechanism to do with it, and that's anime. I've been watching anime since year 7 in high school, so that's what, 7, 11, a good, yeah, 8-9 years, so half of that. And I know plenty of people who deal with mental health, who can't cope with things from time to time. Sometimes the best way they cope is just turn everything off, turn their brain off, get away from everything. They reset, come back, they're okay. I've tried doing that in the past. I've tried cutting social links for, you know, months on end and then come back and nothing changes. I don't know why it is. I think it's just down to the fact that, I don't know, I've never coped with it, and I'm not going to talk about, you know, family or personal issues. It's just on the basis of, like, you know, the top issue of all of it alongside, you know, how anime fits into this, because I do make anime progressive content, and I'm not going to go and throw a subject out there like this without having some kind of foreground to anime to give it basis. And, you know, I stream to take my mind off things. I create these videos to take my mind off things, but then there are days where those 2 exact things I use to compensate for how I feel make me feel the opposite way, and that, it's sad that it's like that. And you know, I know people sometimes who turn around and they go, I don't know how to cope with everything anymore, you know, I'm struggling to do this, I'm struggling to do that, and then they let little things like streaming, for example. You know, we all want to make it big, we all want to have a big community, we all want to feel loved. You know, some people stream and create content to get big and make money, which is your prerogative, do what you want. You know, no one's really gonna hit you for it, no one's gonna go mad at you for it, because at the end of the day it's what you want to do. And then there's some people who make it for feeling something. Now, at first, when I first started all this, YouTube was never this, but when I first started streaming, and maybe this last few last year of push of YouTube content is, oh, you know, I want to make it big, I want it to be a career, this, that, and that. You know, I remember the start of last year, January 1st, I set a goal for the end of 2020 to make streaming a career and all this. And then, actually, you know, then I think it was around March, I lost my grandmother to dementia. And then around April, so the following month, I lost my cousin. And, you know, they're not the closest relatives, but when those two things come back to back, I think COVID's around and you haven't been coping anyway, knocks you off. You know, I have one of my best mates consistently tries to take her own life. Now, that's as far as I'm going to go into my personal life. Now, the one thing I've learned in the last, I would say 4 months is you can't try and fix everyone when you can't fix yourself. Now, that's my biggest problem and always has been. I've always wanted to try and help out others, but I've never really focused on my own mental health. And that's probably why I've never been able to make a video like this, because I've never had, in my eyes, a way to fix it. And, you know, it's like some days, like I say, I'll sit here and I'll want to cry, but I can't. And you know when you can feel it at the back of your throat and it's itching away at you, it's eating away at you. You can feel it at the back of your eyes and it's hard to talk. You know, some people will sit there and they'll deal with that all day and get on with it normal and carry on, that's fine. And then they'll let it out at the end of the night, or they can't let it out. I use anime to force my emotions if I have to. And I'm not kidding you. Like, if I feel like that, I go and watch Your Lie in April. I go and watch sad scenes from animes, sad animes, just so it forces it out of me, because I can't sit throughout a whole day and feel like that and let it gnaw away at me. And there's some days when I kick off at people because they haven't replied to my message, or they haven't interacted with me, and obviously that looks like, oh, you know, you're just being needy and all this. But then within the same minute I do that, I immediately go, shit, I shouldn't have done that. And, you know, everyone has flaws, and my flaws, which I'm still working on, is my switch. And sometimes I'm fine, and then other times I switch and I'm clinically depressed, and then I want to disappear from the world. Now, this is more of a how I deal with, how, you know, video where it's, I cope with this day-to-day basis, but there is a way around it, and it's not the end of the world. Quite simply, I know how I feel inside, but I also know inside I will never go and do something stupid and take my life. I never would. And that's because, you know, the age-old phrase that my parents love to use towards me is, your life isn't bad. And they're not wrong. I have a good family. I have a stable income. I have a job I somewhat enjoy. And I make content on the side and stream. What much more can I ask for? Probably more friendships and stuff, but that's just being needy and picky. You know, like, I have many good friends in both real life and online I've met who I consider some of my closest friends. You know, Atomic Yin's one of my closest friends on the internet. I haven't met him in person. I've spoke to the guy through the internet. We've had too many video calls, and if you're watching, James, too many video calls. And I've recently started to get closer to Lindified, who's also becoming one of my closest mates. We all run a podcast together, and that helps me out on a week-to-week basis as well. You know, if I'm feeling down on a Tuesday or a Monday, I can then click and go, oh, actually, today's podcast day, and that helps pick me up. It gives me something to look forward to. You know, I've met so many people through the internet, and there too I can list the top of my head. Other ones are Valkenbergs, Linden_13, there's all sorts. And then my real life friends, well, my real life friend of Harry, who I used to live with. And, you know, this seems like an overly personal video, don't get me wrong, and an FYI, it's whatever. And I never thought I'd make a video like this, but I've, you know, been in a on and off place recently, and my brain's been all over the place. But I guess you could just call this a warning and a bit of a note to people, is that you can feel like this, and a lot of stuff can go on the outside. People can probably deal with a lot worse circumstances than I have inside my head, and they probably don't cope as well, or they cope better than me. this isn't me throwing out there that, oh, my situation's worse than me. It's just how I deal with it and how I feel about it. That's all it is. Like I said, I've got no structure for this video. I've got no script. I've got no idea. I just know what I want. I just had an idea of what I wanted to say, and I'm literally sitting here, arms folded, just talking into a microphone because it's what I know what to do. Obviously, generally, it's more of a structure. Funny. You know, it's if I'm in a good mood, I'll go and watch some kind of shonen anime that makes me want to feel inspired and want to get on with the day. If I want to feel sad and I want to feel sad for myself, I'll go and watch, you know, Your Lie in April, sad moments from Naruto, Silent Voice, Your Name. Although Your Name's not necessarily sad in that aspect. You know, if I want to feel fear or excitement, I go and watch Jujutsu Kaisen, or I go and watch I don't know, I'm just naming stuff from the top of my head at this point, you know. And it's how I use anime. Anime is my coping mechanism for everything. Legit. I watch it day, night, morning, evening, everything. I live and breathe it. I post GIFs on the internet of anime. I post anime posts. I make YouTube content for it. I post TikToks about it. I watch it. I play games of it. Although all the games are generally shit. You know, it's what my livelihood is. And I'm not on about financially, it's just what I live and breathe for. And for a while I was embarrassed about it. And then I realized I'm an idiot. Why should I be embarrassed about something that keeps me going? You know, anime it is what keeps me going day to day, as stupid as it sounds, or the universe of Japan. You know, like, there's some point this year when COVID allows it, I want to go to Japan. Some point this year, I want to go and meet up with James and Linda for the first time. So, you know, there's loads of things that people want to do throughout their life that can keep them going. And I think if anyone out there is feeling clinically depressed, or they don't want to do something or something like, just remember that there is stuff to look forward to. There is. You know, whether it's as simple as you're looking forward to getting a takeaway at the end of the week, or you're looking forward to having that one conversation with that one friend, or talking to that one girl or boy you like that, you know, you have a crush on. Whether it's something as simple as that, you know, there's always something out there. And I think for people to turn around and go, nah, there's nothing at all, is, in my eyes, it's a bit cowardly. But then again, I can't speak on other people's experiences, but in my opinion, it's the way I felt before, is just turning around and saying, nah, everything's not worth it. It's very defeatist. You know, if I turn around now and go, nah, I want to go, I want out of this world, blah, 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 it's stupid, because I'm 22. You know, I've got, fucking hell, probably 70 more years on this planet if I'm lucky. It'll take me to 92. Jesus Christ, I'll be decrepit point. You know, and I think if you just keep a broad eye on things, you keep an eye on things, you know, then you can cope with this. And I think for anyone who's watching this and you still feel like you need to talk to someone, my Twitter DMs are open. Join the Discord link. You know, Discord link is in the description. I do a stream. If you feel like popping by the stream and saying, hey, can I talk to you personally? Like I say, there's methods out there. I know this has been a very odd method video and a bit of a hit and miss, and it doesn't really make sense, but I just wanted to spill my thoughts onto some paper and just sort of throw it out there and see what people say. I'm not looking for any clarification or verification or help. I'm just wanted to put this out there so people understand. But yeah, I won't really promote anything, but if you want, you know, follow my Twitch, I guess. Like I say, if anyone needs any help, Discord links below, join the server and you can find me there. Yeah, happy travels, everyone.
Look around, tell me what you see. A change in society.